Hey, what's going on? This is Grant,
Dash.
and this is Indiebnb. Today, we talked to Saint Deon out of beautiful Anchorage, Alaska. We got some great drama. We got some awesome insight into the way he sets everything up on his albums. Check them out. Roll the motherfucking tape. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Indie B&B. Today we are joined by Saint Deon out of beautiful Anchorage, Alaska. How we doing?
I'm doing pretty good, just chilling on my day off. I'm just dealing with the aftermath of the Lupe fiasco. The reception's pretty good, so I'm just chilling. I'm super tired. My body hurts.
Yeah, I want to get right into it, man. So you opened up and played before him at it looked like a festival. Tell us about it, man.
It was pretty dope. It was so pretty much Dylan Francis and Lupe Fiasco were having like this like back-to-back thing by Showdown Alaska. And I got to open for Lupe. It was pretty dope. We got the whole like green room and luxury bar type treatment. It was pretty dope. It was you know, definitely different from a lot of the other shows that I've done because this was the first time that I've opened for a major artist. So it was definitely mind blowing.
That's awesome. Did he impart some wisdom on you while you guys were hanging in the green room? I mean, what were some things that you took away from hanging out with him?
Other than a handshake, a picture, it was cool, but he wasn't in the green room. I'm pretty sure he came like 10 minutes before his set with a couple other people. They set up right after Greaves. And then they were just chilling in their trailer for a little bit, popped out, did their piece, did, pictures, and then got out of there. Like there wasn't a whole lot of interaction.
Gotcha. What was your set list like? I mean, what'd you go with? You go with a lot of things for Wish Me Luck, or we get Fix
Yeah.
It Up. What do we go with?
Mainly, actually, my whole set list was Wish Me Luck. There was going to be 2 new songs that I was going to do, but I was like, I wasn't very confident in performing them only because I created them literally like 2 days before the show. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be different. And I was like, yeah, no. I was like, I
Yeah.
might as well just let them play and walk around the stage. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to cut my set. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Did you bless him with any Black Fire? I mean,
Dude,
that's my favorite jam for y'all for years. So you can tell me about it, man.
so I was going to do Blackfire. However, there's a part in Blackfire where I'm not saying actual words. And I was like, okay, how do I do that on stage? And then after that, I was like, do I just like, cut the beat in and out? And I was like, no, it's because it sounds weird. So I just opted not to do it. Honestly, a tragic choice now that I think about it.
I got you. Well, let's hop in. I want to hop into the album. I mean, like, Wish
Okay.
Me Luck just came out, and tell me about your process and getting creative, and you put out a ton of music. That's something that I've noticed about you. Really, since 2020 on. I mean, you've just been grinding in the
Oh yeah.
studio, but you put out 2 albums since then. So, like, what is your process in that studio setting, and how are you getting your stuff out there?
So honestly, mainly, so for Wish Me Luck, I just kind of wanted to continue off the feeling of songs like North Bund Street, Crown, and Dream, and kind of like
Mhm.
that feeling, that really eerie feeling of darkness that's like inside of those songs, especially the end portion of Oba. And I kind of wanted to like take the energy of it and make something that was me being more prideful, me being more, greedy, and just uh, I would say a darker take on the reality of which I was kind of like raised in. Um, and I kind of wanted to do it from a different perspective of a lot of things and just kind of wrap under that persona for a little bit just for Wish Me Luck. Um, but there's all kind of a narrative in it. So like with Nobody in Heaven, the ending song of Dream is the beginning. So like the last little bit of Dream is the beginning of Energy. And then after that, throughout it, there's a bunch of like samples from Wish Me Luck that are in it. You'll especially hear it when you listen to like the deluxe version of Wish Me Luck, which is pretty much its own damn album. It's gonna be crazy, but it's I produce all of it, so I make sure that it all makes sense in the long run in terms of like everything else. Wish Me Luck Deluxe, I made a point to kind of like sample songs, cleared of course, but sampled songs that meant a lot to me, especially in my childhood, like games and everything else. Like one of the songs that I'm really hyped about, I sampled Sanctuary from Kingdom Hearts, and it's insane. Like it is insane. Like I almost want to play it right now because like I make music at my house. Like my studio is literally like right there. But like that's it. But I'm excited. It's gonna be super cool.
Wow, man. It's just there's more to come, even more to come with Wish Me Luck. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Within like, I see I kind of see the gamifying. So what are some things that influence you whenever you're creating? I mean, like, having you have such a range is one of the things that I've noticed is like, all right, like, you know, Nobody in Heaven, for example, is very like melodic and very, more singing, but then, Black Fire, you're coming in and punching people in the mouth, and Crown punching people in the mouth. It's like you have this crazy thing, and then Wish Me Luck seems like I put it on in my car, and I got a decent system in my car, won't lie. I mean, but like it was bumping, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like
oh yeah.
He's got the full gamut of just like what does he want to create next? I mean, are you gonna do a rock album? Like, what's going on?
So actually, yeah. So the next project is called Alan Gray's Intermission, which comes out after the deluxe. And it's pretty badass. So my label is actually fighting over trying to like put one of the artists from the label in it, even though my friend's on it. Like, and then I performed it at Tesh Fest and people loved it there. I've shown it to a bunch of people and they love it. Like, I'll send it to you after this, honestly. It's different. It's like, well, I mean, like, I would say it's different for me. I can't be like, yo, this is next level. It's just like folk music. I mean, it's not different like for everyone else, but it's definitely different for me. It's very trippy. And it's definitely gonna be it's definitely gonna catch everybody by surprise.
You're just gonna add to the range even more and just
oh yeah,
keep going.
That's the goal of these. That's the goal of Pink Versace Flame Child. Originally, like, so Pink Versace Flame Child is like the overall story arc for my albums. And it's kind of like, so the last project is called Pink Versace Flame Child, but right now, like in my music, like I'm trying to like create some kind of connectivity. Like this is gonna sound super prideful and boastful. I'm not trying to. So like call me out on my, like if I sound like an asshole, but like I tend to work about 4 or 5 albums ahead, just so I know what's happening. Like I could show you my Google Drive. Like I'm not bullshitting.
Wow.
But I like make sure that the vision is like painted in a way where it's like when it's done, you're gonna be like, holy shit, the way that they'll like turn back. Like when you listen to the last song of Pink Versace Flame Child, if you've like stuck around to listen to the Pink Versace era, you're gonna be like, holy shit. Like the way, oh my god, I'm sorry.
You're not you're not defined by one album. You look at it as like this is a story over time, and it's all connected somehow. It's just the sound changes, just like things in life change, but it's all one big story, basically.
It's all one big story. I literally, I was like joking with Ed about it actually, how like my albums are kind of like the Avengers, where it's like random movies and then you're like the last, end clip is what ties it all together. but it's like if you listen to like if you listen to Wish Me Luck, if you heard the song Inferno,
yeah,
at the very end there's a bit of me singing. That's Alan Gray's Intermission. Like that little snippet of me singing, I chopped throughout the second half of the song where it's like, like, it's like, and then I start singing. That bit right there is the first song on Alan Gray's Intermission. It flows. If you listen to each project, if you were to, which I know no one will do because no one has the time, but if you listen to Nobody in Heaven, to Wish Me Luck, to Alan Gray's Intermission, to Dark Knight's Tapes, to Pink Versace Flame Child, it's crazy and it's weird. And then because I already have like the next era finished, and it's like Nobody in Heaven 2 is called No More Room in Tokyo, and it's like a whole bunch of other crazy like shit. Like I try to make sure that there's an embedded conceit that follows all the way through that makes sense in the end.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like, we there's a lot of type of people we talk to on these albums, like, and people who are like, when we talk to these on these podcasts, and like I don't think we've ever talked to anybody who's got the same type of thematic just arc across all of their music that like you have. Because like now I'm hearing like Inferno, I'm like, you know what? I was like, why is it like, what is this like backwards like thing going on here? And then you start like, so I'm excited now. Now I see what you're doing is now we're gonna have to go back and like I'm gonna have to sit down and just concentrate.
For all the Easter eggs that are hidden in there.
Yeah,
no, there really is.
We're gonna have to make those. I watch those Marvel videos, like the guy Emergency Awesome, and I like look out for all the Easter eggs and like, hey guys, it's Charlie. Here are like all the 4 WTF moments in this movie, and like now we're gonna have to go. Tash, I'm gonna have to go back and do that.
You're gonna hate Grant because he's gonna be like looking for plot holes and call you out on it.
Oh
like,
my god,
you forgot about this.
Do it. So I'll tell you one right now. Listen to Oba and then listen to Lies. Because those songs go hand to hand.
Oba and Lies.
Yeah, Lies came out December right after Nobody in Heaven.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, man, also when you listen to Oba, listen to the voices in the background.
This is blowing my mind. I mean, what did you have this vision like from the day you started making music, at Saint Deon? Did you have that vision, or did it just kind of come together as you made it?
Honestly, I'll be straight up, like in the beginning, no, there was no vision. I was just writing, and then like there's a different, so like the way that Nobody in Heaven came together was actually fairly last minute, to be honest. And it was a bunch of, so there was a whole different album. So Lost Emotions, Pride, and Yes were on a different project that I was going to release at the end of the year. And then after that, lyrically, so those songs don't really fit necessarily into the narrative because those songs purely are about how I feel about my life in general. But everything else does. So the songs that were made specifically for it were everything but those ones, and Dream, surprisingly enough. But that project in itself, like the ideology of it was called Vision, and it was like Vision with 3 eyes because I was edgy. Like, I don't know, there really was no other reason. But I made that concept album. I dropped it for like 2 weeks and then took it down, and like it was cool or whatever. And then I dropped another project right before called like Alter Ego or something. Like I was just on some really weird like edgy shit for no reason. Like it was called like Ego Pink or something. It was weird, but it was like super wavy but not good. And then I just kind of like worked on my production and like started pretty much interning at Frozen Founders and working with a bunch of studios and everywhere else, and like people were like just giving me a lot of game and everything else. And then I just through time worked on Nobody in Heaven, but put it together very last minute. And then I asked my friend, I was like, my friend Huss, I was like, what's a good name for this album? And he was like, Nobody in Heaven. I was like, oh, dope. Okay. I was like, I want you to know you own no royalties to that title, but dope, man. Like, I was like, that's sick though. Like Huss produced the song Nobody in Heaven. That's the only song on the album not produced by me, but he murdered the production on that song. But yeah, that's a long-winded rendition of that answer, that question.
Gotcha. I mean, so like, what, within your your creative process, what, like, are you, we always talk about with producers and people who have that background. We talk about it with Ed. How
Yeah.
do you kind of flow in and kind of cut through the noise and just really hone in your sound? Because like, there's so many knobs and barrels and things you can do and sounds you can put into something. How do you hone in and get the get that perfect, the way you want it to sound? What's your process to kind of get that going?
A lot of the time, usually it's dependent on the emotion and usually what kind of music I'm listening to during that time, honestly, because like, especially for Nobody in Heaven, like it was a very, very like, it still is to this day and forever, unfortunately, will be a very like politically, very politically heavy time. And, given the scenario of Black Lives Matter and everything else, and that's something I'm heavily involved in, I knew that I was angry about it all. So that's why Crown's the way that it is because like I literally, that was how my voice sounded after going to 3 back-to-back Black Lives Matter protests. Like I had no voice after from screaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to record my voice like this to quite literally bleed how I feel through this track. So there's not a question of how I feel. Because it's like, in the end, like the message that I was trying to convey through that is the fact that it's such a like, socio-political war that I feel like there's not really an actual answer to it all. And like, it's going to keep going on. And I feel hopeless. That's why I said Black Lives Matter, still feel my life don't matter. Like, it's because in the end, it's like, yeah, we can keep preaching this and everything else. But if these people who are in control of everything else don't care, we're not heard. So that's kind of like why that song came up. And then you have Shot and Oba is pretty much just me feeling like just tired of it all. Like that's why my voice is very monotone, because I'm just like the same shit we're taught in school, the same, Black history things. We only get taught Black history when it's February or it's Martin Luther King's birthday. That's why I said Martin Luther King's birthday in the song. And I said February. And it's like, I'm tired of it. And it's like, I'm have to remind myself of my history. Like I have to, outside of school, look in for my own history because, the public school system unfortunately won't teach it. So a lot of the creative process for this and finding sound quite literally was in true pure emotion, especially for that project. And as far as for like Wish Me Luck, finding the sound for Wish Me Luck was genuinely just aimless. I just was producing for some friends or whatever. And, and I was just like, all right, dope. I made a couple of songs and I was like, I could really take off with this. I was like, this is pretty sick. So then after that, I made Medusa. I think I made Medusa in like August and then dropped it in October with 49 Supply Co. No other song was done on Wish Me Luck. No other song. Medusa was the first one. Dropped that. And then after that, I was like searching for like, oh shit, what's the next thing? Like, what do I do? And then in March, I finally started producing the rest of Wish Me Luck. And it was like weird. It was really weird. But in the interim time, that's when I finished Dark Nights tapes. And that's when I finished No More Room in Tokyo. And that's when I finished, that's when I finished Pink Versace Flame Child.
Wow. I mean, that's like, there's so much, with how your process is going. Obviously in the moment you're gonna feel how you want to feel in that moment, and you're gonna keep that consistency throughout. That's pretty awesome. Within like how you got this started. I mean, were you ever in any other bands? Were you ever in anything involved in anything prior to being Saint Deon, or like was this kind of your sole project that you wanted to kind of throw forward?
So fun fact, before I was Saint Deon, my artist name was actually Bad Habit.
Bad Habit?
Yeah, it was cringy. I was, the first song that I ever posted to streaming was this song about my ex called Emotional Roller Coaster. And it's horrible. You could still find it or you can't find it, but you can find it on SoundCloud if you look hard enough. But it's horrible. And like you'll find a lot of music under Bad Habit, actually, even on streaming. But before that, Bad Habit, and then after that, before that, I was Cyber, and I was making music, like just techno beats. Like I started off producing techno beats, and I was working with my friend Austin, who's like a really close friend of mine. And we did this group called F2K, and we would just flip songs on FL Studios. And then after that, or before that, are you asking more so like how I got into music, I guess?
No, I want to know about your project. I mean, like the projects, because like
God.
that kind of builds who you are. I mean, like shoot, like you came from. I've gone from, Cyber to our boy Bad Habits, and then now to become Saint Deon. I mean, it's your metamorphosis. I got to know, how do we get here?
All part of the story.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So I'll kind of sum up how I guess I got here. So actually, I used to sing in second grade, and I got a scholarship into Alaska's Children Choir when I was in third grade. So I sang opera for 2 years, and I was taught classical training under Janet Stotts. And then after that, I just kind of stopped for a little bit. And then I joined drumline in sixth grade, and I was playing quads and snare, and I did that for about 3 years. And then I was privately trained on drum set for a year. And then after that, I did drama in eighth grade. And then I did drama from ninth grade to 12th grade. But during that, I was in jazz band, wind ensemble, I was in all three. Like I've always weirdly been obsessed with the arts. And then after that, I put out my first song in 10th grade, and that was my first album, which is called November 17th. And that's hot garbage. Like, imagine the most garbage project you could ever imagine, and then actually put it in the garbage, let it sit in there for a couple of weeks, maybe years, throw some food in there, let it rot over time, and then listen to it again. That's exactly what it sounded like. It was horrible. Long story short, then after that, everybody at the school was like, bro, this is great. And I feel ashamed now that I let all those people lie to me. But but now it's like, after that, I graduated school, and then I made a couple of songs, like just at home, because like I was working at Texas Roadhouse, and like, I mean, I didn't have really shit else to do. I mean, I was working at Texas Roadhouse, so during the day I would just produce and make music. Did that for a little bit, and then started actually going to studios and stuff. And I got in with Frozen Founders and just started like kind of like making my way through the city. And yeah, now it's like, it's cool, but that's, I guess, really how I got to like why the albums sound the way that they do. It's just kind of the weird tundral. I go off on tangents. I'm so sorry.
No, dude, that's it. That was totally succinct and exact. Like you gave us what exactly your musical background is, and it makes sense that you and Ed are very close, because Ed is similar to you, where he's like could do every freaking instrument, and like has like, I get why your sound is the way it is, because you're in drumline, you understand that whole entire cadence, you're classically trained in opera, which is absolutely awesome. Like I think that you need to put that. I hope that
I was classically trained like 10 years ago, though. Does that still count? I'm like,
we're not classically trained in anything.
Yeah, I'm not classically trained in shit.
I'm not putting that on my resume. Classically taught opera in fourth grade. Like, please take me.
Hey, you did it. You did it, man.
I guess, yeah.
It's a part of your tapestry. Whether you use it or not, it doesn't matter. It's
right.
in there.
True. So, fun fact about like the Ed comment that you made, though. Ed actually was my substitute teacher for swing choir.
No way.
Yeah. So, and actually, no.
Oh. What?
Oh, I'm muted. Hold on, it put me on like
You good?
drive mode, even though I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what's happening. Hold on. Can you hear me?
We can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you.
Can you see me?
Nope.
There we go.
Now we can. Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay. So Ed was actually not my substitute teacher. What happened was I wasn't in wind ensemble yet. Actually, I don't know. I'm like, what happened was it was lunchtime. He was the substitute for the day. Okay, I wasn't in a wind ensemble yet because this was 11th grade. So he was the substitute teacher for not wind ensemble. Oh my God. Swing choir. And then it was lunchtime and I guess he was like showing his music or something because they asked. And then after that, I guess people in the class were like, yeah, Bad Habit, or I think I was Saint Deon in 11th. Yes. No, I was still Bad Habit. Okay. So they were like, yeah, Amari, Bad Habit or whatever, makes music. So then they dragged me to meet him to play my music for him in like the commons. And it's like, it was super weird. But I was just like, yeah, I make music. And then they're like, yeah, show him your music. And then he was like, yeah, bro, it's super wavy. It's super spacey. This is really good. And then he was like, do you want to work together? I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, I guess. So that's how we became friends. But yeah, like, and then 3, 4 years later, yeah. So, yep,
Crazy.
it's weird.
Like, that's like those people who are like, yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, oh, cool, man, tell a joke right now. Like, and like, really, like, show me that you do that. Like,
Jesus,
that's
it was
crazy.
weird.
Yeah, obviously we got your name from Ed. So he speaks very highly of you. He
He's a good guy.
we turned. It was kind of funny. We kind of made we're trying to make our chops through Alaska here. You know, we went through obviously we went through Nick, and then Nick introduced us to Ed, and then Ed introduced us to you. And so it's just kind of an interesting vibe we're going through in Alaska. But want to get to your video. I mean, I saw the Medusa video. Now that you've said Pink Versace Flame Child, now I like kind of understand the theme within it a little bit more. You're wearing your Versace gear. You got you had that purple pink logo going on there. I mean, how'd you make that? Was that through movie magic, or who did that for you?
Oh my God. So 49 Supply Co. Remember how earlier I was saying like I dropped that song with them?
Mm-hmm.
So the videographer is Boss, who is one of the owners of 49 Supply Co. And he shot that whole thing. They set it up. It was really dope. I just asked them and they literally just did me a favor. And like we shot it. I told them what I wanted. I said I was like Medusa, I wanted Versace in it. I wanted to just look like high fashion. And I just wanted it to just be very simple, especially for my first video, because I was like, everybody else is like doing these videos where they're like at the beach and then they flash a gun real quick and then they run to the next location right before the cops see them, and then now they're on top of the mall, they're up there, and then after that they dip once again, and then it's just kind of like this weird circulation of locations. I don't really like that, so I just wanted a super stationary like 90s feel where it's just like I'm rapping at the camera. You got the B-rolls and the fog, and it's just like super dicey. Which actually Medusa sets up the next video, which is going to be crazy.
I'm a video fiend myself. I cannot wait because I love that there's a piece of your art that is kind of hidden away, and then we get to see the kind of this last little chapter. Here's just another piece.
Yeah.
So almost like the visual piece for me is almost as important as the audio piece. But that's awesome, man. Well, I think as we've kind of gotten through here, I think we're ready for a little rapid fire, a little Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. We'll wrap it up here. Don't want to
Let's do it.
Keep you down too long, but basically it'll be 20 questions, rapid fire,
Okay.
mainly food based.
Okay.
But there'll be a few other hiccups in there. So
Okay.
we'll kick it off right now. Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. Here we go. Cake or pie?
Pie.
Chips or pretzels?
Chips.
Waffles or pancakes?
Oh shit. Oof. Waffles.
All right, Ed Washington or Nick Carpenter?
You're toxic. Okay.
Nick Washington.
Nick Washington. Nick Carpenter.
Oh man. Medium build gets the nod. All right, sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Are robots going to take over the world?
Yes.
Are aliens going to take over the world?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, yeah.
Yetis. You seen one? Are they real? What do you think?
They might be. No. I mean,
no,
yes.
no Yetis.
Yes,
Yetis?
yes.
Yetis?
They might be. I don't know. Yeah, sure.
You're saying yes to Yetis. All right, Pop-Tarts or donuts?
I actually hate donuts, so Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. Okay. Tacos or burritos?
Burritos.
Burritos. Okay. Ninja or pirate? What would you rather be?
I'd rather be a ninja.
Ninja. Okay. Tendies or wings?
One more time?
Tendies or wings? Chicken tenders or chicken wings?
Tendies.
100%. Okay. With those tendies, you getting a ranch dip or a blue cheese dip?
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese. All right. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
All day. All right. Day drinking or drinking all night?
Drinking all night.
Drinking all night. I like it. Beer or wine?
I'm kind of a classy guy, so I'll say beer.
Beer. I like it. Nice. Hey, if you show to a party, are you more likely to do the robot or the worm?
Oh God, honestly, the worm.
The worm? All right, nice.
Hell yes.
We don't get a lot of worms on this podcast. We got a lot of robots, not a lot of worms though.
I'm pretty sure there's a video of me just drunk as hell doing the worm at a party. That's why I said.
Let's go. All right, that's gonna research
That's your next
video.
video.
We're gonna find that. Yeah. All right. Deep dish or thin crust? What kind of pizza you liking?
Deep dish. I love me some Chicago pizza.
Okay. All right. A night in or a night out? What do you rather?
Night
have?
in.
Night in. He's a chiller. Okay. And tell us a couple artists we might not know that we should check out.
Couple artists you don't know. I would say Scary Jerry. You may not know about Zane Penny. You may not know about AG Two Tone, Brother Buffalo, Rob Lucci. And
I know about Rob Lucci, come from Fajitas over there, but
yeah, Fajita. That's my dude. And my friend Carson and my friend Shamil. They're every single person that I listed is a nasty artist. Insane. And you guys know Ed and Nick, so I mean, and Ara Lamago, Bethlehem Shalom, and Sundogs.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this. That was fast.
We're busy.
Oh yeah,
man.
I have a whole honestly, if you guys ever were to wonder and if about the Alaska artists, I have a whole Apple playlist dedicated to all of the Alaska artists. I just have people send me their music, or because I've started it off. I think I have 40 artists on there already.
All right.
Yeah.
If it's can non-Apple Music people see it? We're Spotify communists.
I could send you screenshots, but you're gonna have to figure it out and switch over to the Apple of Eden because I don't really know what else to tell you.
Oh man, that's gonna be my next question. I need to start with Apple Music or Spotify.
Apple. Well, okay. For distribution, I love Spotify. I think they do a lot more to accommodate the artist. For quality, honestly, overall, Tidal. I actually genuinely Apple is just convenient because I have an iPhone. That's honest. That's the honest answer.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have one friend of all of our friends who has Apple Music. It's kind of weird. We only are. It's like Spotify is the dominant for us. I don't know why, but
really, it's kind of the opposite up here.
Yeah,
I think because it's just they got ahead of Apple on paying the monthly subscription and being able to listen to everything. And so that can't. They still were just doing iTunes there for so long. Where you had to actually buy it. and then Spotify.
Yeah.
I think that's why there's so many people on Spotify, because it just came out first.
Yeah.
But
Right.
That's
that was
true.
Pete
Awesome,
Peterson right there. That was one of the best Pete Petersons of all time.
Yeah, I mean, we hammered it. Like I think I'm gonna be really classy. I drink beer.
Good.
That's what we're here for. But
Sick.
man, we had a blast, talking with you, Saint Deon, and what we'll have, we'll definitely for sure check out those artists you mentioned, and we'll be on the lookout for the rest of. So I gotta make sure we're correct on what's coming out next. So we got Wish Me Luck out right now, everywhere that things are played, and then next we got
The deluxe.
the deluxe version.
The deluxe version, which is actually pretty dark. It's less flexing, more tired, and a lot more wavy, and honestly just very melancholic chords. The whole thing low-key is produced in D minor. That's how sad it is. So just be prepared for that.
Okay,
Still
so you're prepared to
bumping
be
with the
bummed
beats.
out.
Yeah, you're
bumping
gonna
with
be
the beats,
zoned.
but you're gonna be bummed out.
Pretty much.
I love it. Awesome, man. And then we'll look for the conclusion of the Pink Versace Flame Child after
I'm
that.
waiting for that for a minute, buddy.
hey, we're here. We're here, man. But it's been an absolute pleasure, man. We appreciate you coming on. Saint Deon, ladies and gentlemen. And we will we'll look forward to seeing all your new stuff come out. What about a tour, man? What we got? Is anything planned for that? Anything coming down the pipe? Get you on the mainland?
Actually, yeah. I'm moving to Seattle in a month or two. But I'm actually going to be overseas for about 3 to 6 months. I'm going to be with my label, so we'll know more about what's happening after that. So it's going to be pretty sick. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. Well, we got some friends in Seattle, so you can we'll definitely connect you with those people. We've done a few podcasts with some people up there, so some good people. So, all right. Well, we appreciate it. That has been Indiebnb. Peace out.